Hi there guys. This video is about working with XML file. Before I start, I'd like to explain that I don't usually work a lot with XML. I prefer binary, but I guess you need to use XML because it's a standard, so it's important to learn that, and I need to work with that as well. So there are many ways to work with XML. I'm gonna explain one way uh, here. Okay, so what are we gonna do? We are gonna create this button that will generate an XML for us. Okay. Okay. Generate XML. Enter. So now double click that. Now get the file name. So here dimension save file sfd as new, save file download sfd.filter equals star.xml 5star.xml for example, and then if sfd.show direct cancel then exists. Okay, so far we are just getting the name. We haven't done anything with XML. So when you want to write or generate an XML file, there is a simple class to use. It's XML text writer. So here we go. Create the XML writer object. So dimension XMLW as a new XML. This is the namespace dot XML text writer. Okay. And now this is the constructor. So what you want to do, specify what the file is. So fsd dot file name. Sorry, this is the file name. And next you need to specify the encoding. So if you are writing the information, let's say in Chinese or any other language that requires different encoding, you need to specify this here. So system text dot encoding get encoding. I don't know which one to use. So Windows 1256 for example. This one of the encodings, and this is Z. Okay. So now the object is created. Now we are ready to write XML file. So so here example, what we want to do is something like this. My info, let's say, want to write something like that. Okay. So here we want to store a single value, which is test. Okay, and then we're gonna close the tag of this XML my info. That's it. This is a this is the simplest XML probably. So how do you do that? First of all, you write this XML w dot. You want to start. We can set the formatting. Okay, and then to make it like standard one. And now we are gonna write. So the element here is what? It's called my info. So you write this XML w dot write start element. Okay, and here the name of the element, which is my info. It's as simple as that. Okay, so this line of code is gonna generate this tag. Okay, next you want to write the information. So XML w dot write value. In this case we want to write the value test. Okay, and then we close this element. So XML w dot write end element. Okay, and finally XML w dot close. So here close the element. This one is okay. So this is the simplest XML ever. Sorry about the noise. Okay, so let's try it out. We're gonna run this. Come on. Okay, generate that. Okay, let's go to the desktop, and let's say call it ABC or whatever, or let's call it 01. So save that. Let's go to the desktop. This is 01. I'm gonna open that, and here we go. Look at this, my info test, my info. Okay, so this is sorry, a very simple XML file. Now let's make it a little bit more complex. So what I am gonna do, I'm gonna leave this as it is and create a new button so that you can see how we can generate multiple XML files, each one sorry, and a number of steps. So we'll make it more difficult with each step. So now let's go here. Let me copy this code, copy and paste here. Okay, so now we are gonna make this a little bit more interesting. So let's say that it will contain information, like for example, name is gonna be Smith, and this is /name. Okay, and we want to have what? We want to have age. He's 30, let's say, and there is a /age. So what you see here is that this element contains these two other elements. So how do you do that? Now let's come to this one. So think about it this way. My info starts here and it ends here. So this is my info, it starts here and it's ending here. Now what are we gonna do? We're gonna start writing this element which is inside my info. So all you have to do is this XML w dot write start element again. Write start element, and this time it's called name. Okay, so let me see, can I? The problem with VB.NET, it doesn't allow me to put some indentation for me in the source code, which doesn't help much. So anyway, but you get the idea. And the ending of this one is XML w dot write end element. Okay, so now this is this will write the name, and this one actually writes the /name. Okay, so what do you want to write inside the name? You want to write the value Smith. So XMLW dot write value, this is gonna be Smith. Okay, so what this means is that I have my information. Inside my information I have a name element, and this name element have the value Smith. Okay, this is the first value. Maybe I can make it a little bit more clear. So name tag, element. Okay, this is it. And now I'm gonna write the age element. There we go. So XMLW dot write start element, this is gonna be age, it's like that. XMLW dot write value, and the age is 30 in this case, and then we close our tag XMLW dot write end element. Okay, so I'll write my info. It starts here, and to make it clear, uh, the end of my info. That's it. Okay, so let's run this one and see what's gonna happen. So run this, click this second one, it's gonna be 02. Save that. Let's try the second one. So what do you see? You can see here, this is my info, and it has a Smith as a name and 30 as age. Okay, and by the way, you can use the same technique to nest other values inside the name or age. Okay, so it depends on your data structure. Okay, so let's make this a little bit more difficult. Okay, let me copy this and generate, paste, what's that? So copy this and paste. What's happening here? Oh, it's running, that's why. Sorry. So paste. Now this one is gonna be XML, the third one. Okay, there we go. So what are we gonna do here? Again, we are gonna do a copy paste, but now we are gonna make this a little bit more interesting. So my information, we are gonna put an attribute into this XML, and here we're gonna say gender equals male. Okay, so we had an attribute. Now how do you add an attribute to that? Okay, all the attribute can be added into into any element as will be shown here. So the first step here is to write the start of an element. Next, you write the attribute. So the attribute here, it's XMLW dot write attribute string like this, and you put specify the attribute is gonna be gender here, and this is gonna be male. Okay. So what this says is that my info will be for a male. Okay, so let's try this out and see how this XML if this XML will be generated. So you write the start element and then you specify the attributes right away. If name has attributes, you put this statement after the right start element for the name. Okay, let's run this and try the third XML. So this is going to be 03 and save. Okay, there we go. Let's try it out. Hopefully it works. Okay, so this is my info, this is gender, and it equals male. So far we are able to generate XML without a problem. Now let's we need to address the second problem, how to load XML. Okay, so here we are gonna paste, we are gonna load XML. Okay, so loading XML is also very easy, very straightforward. Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna copy this part because I need to know the structure. I need to know the structure of how the XML is being generated so I can read it. And you can actually make your code smarter enough to identify the content of XML and read it without remembering the structure of the file. Okay, so this one is going to be open file dialog, and this is going to be OFD. Now this is going to be the XML reader. Okay, so here, okay, how do you create the XML reader? Well, there is an XML text reader which is used to read text-based XML files, and these are so here this is gonna be new XML.xml text reader. Okay, so what you need to specify is where the text file is, and this is going to be oft.file name. Okay, so this creates the XML reader, and you are ready now to start working with the file. Now, how do you read this file? Well, it's very easy. So here, we are gonna start reading the first tag, which is my info. So all you have to do is XML dot read. Okay, and what this one does, is gonna read the first tag, which is my info. Now we need to get the value. So dimension val string equal XML dot read string in this case. Okay, so this will read the value test, and then XML dot read end element, which reads the slash my info. Finally, we need to close the XML, close XML. So here XML dot close, and I guess we need to see the information. So MSG box val. Now let's see if this works. So I'm gonna run this. Click here, and where is that? This is the first one. Open, and this is the value test. So it worked. Okay. Now what if you in some cases you want to make sure that this tag is my info? So you can do it a little bit differently. So you can say read the start element and then specify the name. So this is going to be my info. Okay, now this will only work if the element is my info. So if you have a different XML file, the previous code, which was like this, let me show it to you here. The previous code, if you have an XML element, an XML file that's like that, this will work. It's gonna read it, okay? And it will work because you didn't specify the type of element here. But if the type of element is like this, and you want to make sure that the element is my information, you can do it like this. Read start element my info. Okay, this will work, but it will only work if my info is the first the tag here, or the element is my info. So let's try this first, see if it works, and click here. Where's that? Okay, so this is test. So far so good. Now I'm gonna change this and assume the file content, the element here is X, not my info, and we will see if it will work. So if I click here and let's go to the file, if I say open, now I get a program crash because it's not the correct element. Okay, now if I put it back to my info, it's gonna work. So I'm gonna put it back the way it was. I'm gonna make it read. Okay, now what if you want to check the type of element without making your program crash? You can use something like this. If XML dot is start element, and then you specify the type of element here, for example X, then MSG box X tag, X element was detected. So in that case you can read it and work with it. Okay, so let me put an else here, MSG box not an X element. Okay, so let me run this. Click here, sorry. So not an X element, but it's gonna work and you will get the value. So let me modify the XML file itself. Right click here and say edit. So here this is gonna be what? This is gonna be X and this is gonna be slash X. So I'm gonna close this. Sorry. So run this again. Click that and open. Now X element was detected. Now it knows that this is an X element and it's gonna work as well. Okay, let me put the file the way it was, just in case. Save that. Okay. Now I guess we we have no problem with this one. I'm gonna comment these. So this is the standard way that you can read an XML file. Now let's go again and try the second format where you have nested values. So here I'm gonna say load XML2. Where's that? It's here. So okay, so I'm gonna double click this one here and I'm gonna use a copy paste. So I'm a little bit lazy, sorry about that. Come on. Oh, I didn't need all that. I needed this one only. Okay, so copy. Put this one here. Well, come to think about it, gosh. What's wrong with me today? Doing lots of mistakes. So, okay, all I needed was the format of this XML. So, again, read the my info, okay, element. So here XMLR dot read start element, and I'm gonna make sure it is my info. Okay, I would like to do it this way. So next, read the value of the name element. So again, XML, it's like the previous one. Dot, you can use read or read start element in this case, and it's gonna be what? It's gonna be name. There we go. And dimension NME string equal XML r dot read string. There we go. This is gonna get me the name XML r dot read end element. This will read the end of the name element. Same thing will go for age. Sorry, XML r dot reads start element. This is gonna be age. So dimension ag as integer equal XML r dot read. Let's say string. Okay, maybe I should make it integer dot parse. Okay, and yeah. So this will read the value XML r dot read end element. Okay, next close the my info element. So here XML r dot what read end element. Finally close XML r dot close, and we need to see the information. So MSG box NME and PW line and AG. Okay, there we go. So it's very simple. Start reading the element, get the first nested element, get its value, and finish reading the first nested element. Do the same for the second one, and close the my info element, and that's it. Okay, so let's try this out and see if it works. So click here, and this is the second one. We have a Smith with value 30. So it's working perfectly fine. Let's go and try the last one, which has attributes. and this is a little bit tricky. So this is the second and the third one. Double click, and I'm gonna do a full copy paste here. Okay, to make this quick. Control C and paste. Okay, there we go. So the difference here is that we have what? Okay, I'm gonna copy this line of XML so that where is it? It's this one, Control V. So we have this attribute. Okay, we have this attribute within this one. Okay, so how do you do that? Well, first, since this element has attributes, if you tell it to read the start element, what it is gonna do, it is going to read the information and jump directly into the next elements. Okay, so you will lose the attributes. So what do? Well, get this. This is the confusing part. So get this. You need to perform a read for that element with attributes. So XMLR dot read. Okay. So this is gonna read the information. Next, you need to get the attribute. So dimension gender equal, sorry, string equal XMLR dot get attribute, and in this case it is gender. Okay, now this is the tricky part. If you try to read the other information, it will not work. It's gonna give you an error. So in order for this to work correctly, you need to jump back to the start of this element and then read it. So XMLR dot move to element. Okay, it's a little bit confusing. If you have attributes, you are gonna call read, you are gonna get the attribute, and then you are gonna say move to element, and then you are gonna process things normally. So let's go to the gender. Yeah, so I added here and gender. Okay, so let me try this out. Okay, so click here, and we have Smith 13 male. Okay, so probably this is the most difficult one, the most confusing one. You are gonna read the element without moving forward. You're gonna read that, get the attribute, move back to the beginning of the element, and then you're gonna read it in a way that you skip it. So let's try to add attributes for the other markups and see how this code works. So I can generate XML4, paste here. Okay, this is gonna be load, copy. Again, I'm gonna use lots of copy and paste because I am lazy. So here, this is 4. So let's go to 3. So 3, I'm gonna copy this. Oh, sorry. Copy this one. And let me double click here. Okay, so let's have a look. What do we have? So we have this attribute and the name, age. Let's put an attribute here with age. In this case, it's gonna be let's say, I don't know what kind of attribute should I put with age. Let's say notes. Let's call them old. Okay, so we have the notes attribute and the name um, let's say family equal John. So what we want to do is say that this is Smith and the family for him is John. So I'm just adding attributes. Okay, so let me have a look here. So for the name we want to put family. Where's that? This is the name. XML r dot write at write attribute string. This is gonna be what? This is gonna be family. It's gonna be John. Okay, and for the age we're gonna say notes xmlw dot write attribute string is gonna be what? Age, not age. Yeah, it's notes alt. There we go. So we have these. Okay, let's first save this XML file and see how it looks like. So this is gonna be 04. Save that. Click here. There we go. So we have mailed the family is John, for the name is Smith, and this is an old person whose age is 30. Okay, so let's go to the load part. So the load part, okay, again go here. Oops, let's go, make a copy paste. Sorry. Yeah, I had to stop the video and try a few things because XML working with attributes is a little bit annoying. Yeah, Microsoft documentation doesn't clarify few things, so or I didn't know how to find information. So anyway, so here we have what? Let me just copy the XML so that I can remember the format. I can find it closely. There we go. So for the name we want to get the attribute. So XML r.read dimension family string equal XML r.read get attribute, and this one is gonna be what? It's gonna be family. There we go. So this is family, and then XMLR dot move to element. Okay, and the rest is gonna be the same. So these two parts, the first one's gonna get the attribute, the second one's gonna get the content of the element, the value of the element. Same technique will be used here. So here what do we have? XMLR dot read, there we go, and then dimension notes string equal XMLR dot get attribute, and this is gonna be notes, and then we should move back. So XMLR what's wrong with me? XMLR dot move to element, there we go, and so on. So since these are considered one unit, I'm gonna put them together. Okay, and here and VB new line and notes and VB new line, and I want to display what? The notes and the family. There we go. So we have this. I'm gonna run. Click here. It's gonna work, and there we go. We have Smith 30. This is the attribute male. This is the attribute old. This is the attribute John. Okay, so I'll be posting this code into the website, so you can download that and have a look at it. Also, you can check other tutorials on videos on the site. If you have further questions or notes about this tutorial or other VB.NET stuff, send them to me. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.